When we access to the internet, our devices are identified with a unique number. It's like a street address. This number is called an Internet Protocol address or IP address. An IP address defines a technical format and addressing mechanism for computing devices to communicate each other over networks. So if your computer is connected to the internet, theoretically speaking, you are assigned a unique IP address by your ISP, Internet Service Provider. In other words, without having an IP address assigned to your computer, you cannot be identified as a unique host among networks. So this means you cannot use internet. Like this, IP addresses are so fundamental to the internet. Currently, we have two versions of IP addresses. One is IP version 4, IPv4, and the other is IP version 6, IPv6. IPv4 was developed in mid-1970s, and it is a 32-bit address space. And this means IPv4 has around 4.3 billion unique combination of IP addresses. The internet emerged in early 80s using IPv4 addresses. Once this new communication mechanism started spreading outside of the research and university networks, the internet experienced exponential growth, particularly since mid-1990s. Engineers and researchers who were monitoring the robust growth of the internet in mid-1990s realized IPv4 address space was not large enough to cater to the emerging needs to connect to the exponentially growing in numbers of hosts that wanting to connect to the internet. This was a serious problem, and therefore internet engineers developed a next generation IP protocol known as IPv6. Comparing to IPv4, IPv6 is a 128-bit address space, and this means it has an inconceivably huge address space. Some people say that every grain of sand on the earth can be assigned an IPv6 address as an analogy to describe the vastness of this address space. An IPv6 address space is much larger than IPv4 address space. We can expect that IPv6 can support the current and future continuous growth of the internet. However, it comes with a bit of challenge. IPv6 is not totally compatible with IPv4. This incompatibility is a serious concern to ISPs and creates barriers to IPv6 adoption. Of course, the internet technical community and other stakeholders are working to overcome these challenges so we can maintain sustainable growth of the internet.